So, let's talk about DC League of Super Pets. I know that nowadays Warner Bros. Anime films are not getting that much attention or didn't get much praise as they used to be. But when it comes to DC League of Super Pets, there could be a chance where this might be better than the rest of the recent Warner Bros. Films. I mean, it did work well in its animated DC lineup, especially with some of the series and some of the animated films. And this could be a chance that this might actually turn out a little bit. I mean, we all talk about the company that actually made a masterpiece of films like the Lego Movie and the Lego Batman movie. So there might be a chance that this could get some praise too. So now that we're going into like the pets of their first ever feature film as the superheroes, will this be like a comeback of Warner Brothers, or will this be like the rest of their animated films? See for yourself. Starting off with the stuff I like, while I mostly thought that the story would, to me, think would be mediocre, that there were some few points that I did admire. I did like some of the touching moments between Crypto and some of the characters that he meets up with, like the pets and Superman, and it actually does give a lot of emotional moments that actually does tell them a good message of friendship, and even keeps the action scenes engaged on how people would obviously watch this film not just to see Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart, but the action scenes themselves. And I will say that the comedy, well, there were some ones that didn't give me a bit of a like a good laugh or chuckle a bit. There were some moments where it did caught me off guard. The animation is quite well done, especially with the character designs on the pets, where they have a more cartoonish yet stylized look that's comparable to Spider-Verse or any of the other projects that are a bit similar to that film. But moving on with the other elements I did like about the animation is with the action scenes, and it surely does not disappoint us on what it tries to give people what they want. And it actually does set up an awesome climax that actually makes it more engaging to watch, as I said before. And I also like that the backgrounds have a more stylized and detailed look to New York City, giving it a more or a good feeling that this actually is New York, and they actually do a quite good job on it. And as for the characters, there were some pretty good props up there. Yeah, like with Ace being my favorite character, who Kevin Hart did a good job as the acting role for Ace, of course, since he's actually the one who did have some funny scenes. And same with Merton, who actually has the most funniest scenes of all. Especially when he swears, that actually did caught me off guard, especially from a Warner Brothers animated film. But then you have Crypto. I mean, sure, yes, he can be despicable in the first act, but it is but there is something you need to know is that we've all been that kind of way before. Let's be honest, we've all been in that situation where we had our loved ones, but they probably have another loved one that keeps us away from them, and it can make us feel like we are just being jealous of everything. So he is a really relatable dog, but he's kind of a bit of a despicable guy. He's a bit of a mix. Okay, that's all. But the one thing that did give these characters some charms is that the voice actors did a pretty good job, as I said with Kevin Hart. Even though the other actors did quite well. And then there was the stuff that I was not quite a big fan of. Even if that the story it can be engaging with the message of friendship, it is quite predictable to know what will happen. And with the outcome of the characters and achieving the goals and everything. And some of the jokes do kind of fall flat at times, which doesn't work well for like a Warner Brothers animated film. Especially in the recent films, get a little of that, people. But yeah, even the way that the animals got superpowers is quite ridiculous. I mean, I know this is meant to be a kids film, and it does work well in that way, just so the kids can have what they want. But I wouldn't say if the story is engaging for them, or it can be a bit of a mix. And even for like some of the character designs on the humans, they can be a bit of a mix. there are some Justice League members that do have a nice look to them, especially some of the villains. But then there are others that have a bit of an odd upgraded look to them, which kind of makes them look a bit off per se. And even some of the characters aren't really that grand either. Like with, if I don't know, maybe like with the okay, some of the characters here are quite forgettable. So, I mean, yeah, sort of like the squirrel in PB, or is it? Yeah, I forgot his name. They have not much to do to catch my interest, of course, since they mostly be like the comic release, but at least they actually did give them some personality, of course. And the villain Lulu, while done by a great actor with a good performance for her, is that she does face up to be a typical villain who is just trying to do the job so that she can be with her fan. That's it. Or is it her idol? I don't know. Even the character animation can be a bit choppy on how it's rendered, of course. I mean, sure, it's smooth, but not too smooth, per se. And that's basically my thoughts about those stuff. DC League of Super Pets was a bigger step up from the other Warner Bros. Anime films, but it is still in that decent category. The story is predictable, some of the characters are too simple and a bit forgettable, and there was some weak comedy, but there were some jokes that actually did caught me off guard and also has some nice animation and awesome climax with some nice action scenes. Voice actors giving the characters a lot of charm and a lot of touching moments that actually does make this movie worthwhile. I mean, I know this wouldn't be the best Warner Bros. Movie out there, but at least you can say that at least it is a step up from the other films. And at least the kids can have their own version of Justice League, which is the same why I'm giving this the 0 of average, cause at least it does serve its job. Be a Justice League movie for kids.